All right, we're back. It's Friday, so we're going to do a cooking demo. So in the first couple of weeks of school, obviously we're doing basic knife skills, basic things that kind of put together food. As the year progresses, we'll get more complex with the types of foods that we make. Last week we did basic fruit salad. Today we're going to do Pico De Gallo, which is your kind of your basic standard salsa in Latin cuisine. Really doesn't take a lot to make it. You've got your cilantro, you've got a red onion, jalapeno, Roma tomatoes are my preference, and then of course you have a garlic bulb down here. All the things on here are kind of to your preference, whatever you decide you want to do. Garlic I tend to go a little bit light on, but that's just me. So we're going to go ahead and kind of dive right into it. As far as seasonings are concerned, I've got cumin. Here I've got garlic powder, salt, pepper, and then off to the side I've actually got different types of hot sauce to, for people's individual taste. I don't like my pico real super hot, so obviously whenever I'm making it, I'm going to remove, when I'm doing the jalapeno, I'm going to remove the seeds, try to remove as much as I can except for the skin. So it's going to leave it without, it's going to leave the jalapeno flavor but without the heat. Tell people if you want to add heat, you can leave the seeds in. I don't personally, but if you want to add heat, that's obviously to taste. You've got red hot. My favorite is actually Louisiana. That's the one that I prefer, but I've got a couple of different varieties up here. So once we get done making it, we'll kind of let you guys add, subtract things to it, add things to it, just to see what you like. So we're going to go ahead and start with the jalapeno. It doesn't really matter which one you pick out first. You just pick one. So we'll start by cutting both ends off, and then we're going to cut it in half. And we're going to remove the insides. All right, remove all the seeds, the ribs, ridding the inside membrane. All right. So we're just basically you have this. And we're going to do it on both. All right. The one thing that's nice about Pico De Gallo, you can add as much as you want as far as tomatoes, as far as jalapenos, different things. Everybody has their own special taste. I tend to add a little more red onion to mine. That's just me. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. This is a nice cut, long ways. We'll call this a bassinet. And then we're going to go ahead and dice it. Everything's going to be a diced, small dice to mince. So we're going to go ahead and dice this up. Once again, it doesn't really matter the order in which we're making things. And so once we get our, this is not the best knife. I probably should have gotten a better knife. It's not a big deal. Once you get your ingredients, we'll go ahead and put that in the bowl. We'll do the red onion next, my favorite. We'll go ahead and cut this. Some people don't use the whole red onion. I do. I like to use the entire onion. Personal preference. Red onion is very strong, very pungent. Gotta be careful when you start cutting a bunch of these, you're gonna be crying soon. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it horizontally 3 times. Vertical cuts. And we're going to turn it 90 degrees, vertical cut again. And that's your dice. Medium dice actually is what this is probably turning out to be, which is fine. No problem. Alright, so we've got our jalapeno, red onion, my board clean. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go to the cilantro. Cut off a big branch of this. Has been washed. And so we're just going to give this a nice rough chop. Love cilantro. So it's one of those things where I realized how much I loved it, so I started making this. So I started working with a lot of Latin cuisine, and then I really realized just how much I really love cilantro. It's very aromatic. Go ahead and scrape this on in there. So I'm just kind of throwing everything in there. The order really doesn't matter. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get my tomatoes. Cut the ends off. I'm going to slice these down the middle. I'm going to quarter each one of them. A lot of people want to use one of these. I don't really use them very much. I don't really see, I just cut the ends off. So, I mean, you can use the core if you want. I don't. We're going to kind of remove the seeds, kind of the same way we did with the jalapeno. I'm just going to remove the insides. So basically what you should have is something that looks like this. Do this a few more times. I'm trying to see if I can kind of fly through this a little bit. Remember, if you want to do things quickly, this is a gross one, sorry. Repetitive motion is the key. Do the same action. It's kind of like an assembly line. Just repeat the motion. So I'm cutting all 6 or all 5 of them. I'm going to half them, quarter them, half, quarter, half, quarter. And this is a whole lot faster than if I were just to do individual ones. Quarter, half, and quarter. Now I'm going to remove the seeds. I'll do this fairly quickly. These videos get long, so I try to keep them under about 10 minutes if I can. As we get into more complex things as the school year goes along, obviously this is going to take a little more time. I divided it up into two separate videos, so no biggie, just where it is. Remove the seeds. Like I said, we're just repetitive motion. Same thing over again, and this speeds up the process. I tell people all the time, when you're cutting things, try to think about what can I do over and over again. You get into kind of a groove. Once you get into that groove, it's very easy to kind of fly through things. I can make a lot of this fairly quickly, even at my old age. For those of you that are watching this video at home, I'm in a classroom now, so somebody may come to the door, or you may hear something coming with the radio. So where it is, just gonna have to make do. We have a classroom setting in a high school, that's what we get. Almost done. Almost done. Then once I get the insides removed, I missed one. I'm going to go ahead and cut them. I'm going to cut them into a medium dice, cut 3 times, maybe 4. Give them a good cross cut. 4 times, cross cut, 4 times. And even if they don't, my knife is not super sharp here. This kind of stinks actually. I should have sharpened it before I did this lesson. No biggie. As I'm combining them, I can obviously break apart anything with my fingers. So it's fine. I've got gloves on. No biggie. All right. Moving along. Almost done. I can smell the cilantro. It's amazing. We've got one more thing to cut up, and when we're done with that, we'll start adding our spices to it. A lot of the spices are just, like I said, to taste. Some people have different preferences. I like things a little bit on the milder side. That's me though. I know people that they like everything hot, and that's fine. There's certain things I like hot. There's a Philly cheesesteak that I get with jalapenos in it, and it's pretty warm. And I've tried it without the jalapenos, and I just think the jalapenos work. They just really work well. So almost done here, about 2/3 of the way done. Once again, trying to keep these videos down to about 10 minutes at least for right now. We'll get to the point later on when I'm doing multiple steps, and may have to even break it up into days. Just that's what it is. my students that weren't at school today, obviously you can, I'll remind them that they can go on YouTube and watch this. Just watch the video. Like it, subscribe, or whatever. I don't do videos to get likes or shares or anything like that. I do them because I enjoy cooking. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy my profession. This is one of the things I just get a lot of joy out of doing, and I enjoy sharing it with people. So, you know, people always ask me, are you making any money? I don't really care about making money off of videos or anything like that. I'm not looking at getting influence. Not that I would turn it down, but it's not something that I'm actively seeking or anything like that. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy what I do. And, you know, it's just my passion. So we're there almost. As you can see, it's really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and break up this bulb. Man, this one's tough. There we go. And I'm going to pull out one. Because I don't really feel like it's going to be a lot. So we're going to break that. Get the shell. There we go. Skin off. All right, then we're going to mince this. Just do a nice rough mince. Like I said, if you're these types of people, you love garlic, obviously you can add more. My thing is whenever I add too much garlic, it's just the thing that I taste. And this is not a lot. You know, I'm not making a lot of pico right here. This is a very small amount, so one bulb is plenty. In there. All right, now we're going to add a few seasonings, spices, a little salt, a teaspoon. The nice thing about this is it's really to whatever preference you have. I'm not going to put a lot of. I do love cumin though. I mean, I might put a little extra cumin. I love cumin. Just really loads. There we go. A little extra. A little garlic powder. That's why I said I only use one bulb, because you're putting powder in there too. It's going to be really pungent. And last thing I'm going to add is a little bit of lemon juice. And just going to turn everything nice and acidic. And then I'm going to mix it up. Oh, that is really beautiful. And this is so nice. I love Pico De Gallo. I love it. One of my favorite things, and I love everything that's in it. I love the tomatoes. I love Roma tomatoes. I love the garlic, the jalapeno. Just everything is just so nice in there. So anyway, so this is like I said, this is a quick video of making Pico De Gallo. A lot of fun to do. You can do this easily at home. You don't have to go out and buy expensive salsas or anything like that. You can just whip this up real quickly in your house. And that's it. Like I said, if you want to turn this into a salsa, you could just throw this into your food processor and just kind of blend it up, make it a smooth texture. You're good to go. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll be back next week. Appreciate it.